So this tutorial is going to help you when you purchase models from online. There's a lot that just they just look good, and there's just really it's hard to say. It's sad to say, but there's a lot of crap models out there, and they have a lot of issues. They may have not been made with 3ds Max, so that could be a reason why too. So when you put it in this program, it just 3ds Max is ends up having a bunch of different little issues that you can fix pretty easily. But it would be kind of nice to have a checklist to go through and do these things to fix an object that just seems to be not playing well. And for example, as you can see here, you have all these hard edges. So the first thing you want to do is you want to smooth your object, and it may not smooth. So if I actually put this in polygon mode here and select all and hit auto smooth with 45, anything less than 45-degree angle should smooth between two surfaces here, but it doesn't. And so there's a problem with this model, and that would be in the normals. It could also be in a welding issues with verts. One of the other issues. Oh, and then there's other issues that you could run into, like just having mid-edge vertices, and you also just shouldn't have those. They're just extra and they're not needed. So, well, I'll as well show you how to clean those things up. But the first check you should always do is just select border tool and highlight the entire object. And the first thing you're going to notice here is that if anything turns red, that's just showing you a border. So along this edge, that's fine, because this is an open, well, and these as well, these are open. So it's showing you the border going around this open surface here. That's fine. But if you get something that's red along an area that's supposed to be closed completely, then you don't have welded vertices there. So basically, I'll put this in vertex mode. These verts here are not welded. So if I move one, you can see it's completely unlike over here. If I move one, it's completely welded. So depending on how you set up your scene for scale-wise, which is I won't go into the total details on that, but under unit setup, I'm in meters. So your welds button here has a little settings tab here. So if you open that up, you can set the range to weld everything and do it all at once. So basically select everything, and immediately you can see the range is too close. So if I add another 0 there, then it gets a little bit better, but then it's still welding stuff it shouldn't. So usually for my scale, it's 0.001 that should be fine, and anything within that should be welded anyways. That just means it's getting a little too close. I actually have my own tool here, and I actually use 3 zeros, so I'm going to add one more 0 just in case. Let's see here. It's not going to let me do it on the default. No, it is. So let's go 0001 and then hit check mark. There we go. And now we'll come back and hit the border tool, reselect the whole object, and that entire area where all those were unwelded are now fixed. Obviously, you're still going to have red there, so anything that's open will definitely have a border. So now let's select polygon mode, select the entire object again, hit auto smooth. I'm going to turn F4 on and off. That gets rid of the highlighted edges, and then you can see it a little better. You can also put your shading in clay, and that will help as well if you want to see there. I don't actually prefer clay as much. My favorite is to leave it on default shading, and I use, with no texture applied, I use this shade of blue right here. It's really helpful with selected edges like this. It just makes it so I can see when I do have F4 on. Okay, so now we need to fix the smoothing issue. But before we do that, we're going to do one more check. We're going to look for mid-edge vertex. That comes with Rapid Tools. It's a freeware project. A freeware tool you can get online. and under cleanup, you hit Rapid Tools Cleanup, and there's a button here called Find Mid-Edge Vertices. So I'll click that, and actually this originally never had any. But you got to be careful with this because anything on a corner like this that's not connected, which actually this should be connected here, this is going to cause an overlapping surface here because so I did actually intentionally set two of them right here. I want to show you here. So let me turn this back on. So these two are the ones that we want to remove. But you got to be careful. If you just made a plane, all four corners would be highlighted, and just like in the example here, these are highlighted. And this did this, but this is good because it showed me that actually there should be a connecting edge here to fix this issue. So for now, we're going to deselect those. I'm going to look for any others. And it looks like if I turn on the move tool, it's a good way to check. I'm only moving these two right here. I don't see anything else moving. So I'll basically hit Control Backspace, and that will get rid of those. And then since that's a modifier, I'll just go ahead and convert to editable poly again and store that permanently into the model. Okay, and now for the last fix, we need to fix the normals, because the normals is what's preventing this from smoothing here. Normals are a direction coming off of a flat surface, and so the normals on these are so off, it's having trouble for the smoothing to smooth between two surfaces. So under your modifier list, if I hit E, you'll see Edit Normals right there. Basically, what I'll do now is I'll just select the whole object and then hit reset. And anything that's red, it already knows that it's not perpendicular to its surface. So by hitting reset, it just resets it based on the geometry. So it is now fixed. So I'm just going to go ahead and convert to editable poly. We'll come over here, and it already smoothed it because smoothing was already set prior to doing this, so it already knew what we wanted for smoothing. So there you go, and I would consider this now fixed. There may be models out there that still, like I said, have some edges that you may need to go add more. So that was a good check, looking for mid-edge vertices. And remember, you don't always need n-gons for everything. You're going to have tries throughout models sometimes. Just try not to have long, skinny triangles. If you can shorten them up, I have other videos that explain that, then that will be a better try, to have a try that's more shorter than longer. And that way you don't have a very long, skinny areas for the UVs, which cause other issues. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Subscribe, smash the like button, and we will see you next time. Bye.